Hey everyone, so this bonus session we will be doing for regular expressions, and this is not just for Java, but this particular topic of regular expressions is it's common amongst all the programming languages. You take Java for that matter, or C Sharp or Ruby. The concept of regular expressions is the common, and you work with any of the tools. Say we will be looking at it from a Selenium perspective, but you take it for any other automation tool, like if you worked on UFT QTP also, it's very important. If you work on a development project, for example, also the knowledge of regular expressions is very important. So what are we going to do in today's session, is we are going to start understanding what is a regular expression, what is a pattern, how to create basic patterns, and then we'll do some um, frequently asked questions on the regular expressions, frequently asked question in the interviews. This is a very hot topic for interviews. If you go for the automation testing interviews, uh, a lot of questions are generally asked around regular expressions. So let's get started. Anything that you want to regularize, say I have a bunch of strings that I want to regularize by one expression. I have a number range that I want to regularize by one expression. So that specific thing, like we might have used a lot of times in the LAN setting, system LAN settings, w dot your company name dot star, something like that. So what does it indicate actually? So this dot and star or asterisk is combination of two meta characters in regular expression that regularize the string. It says that this part of static string is there, after that anything comes is fine. So you are regularizing that particular bunch of strings which look like this, and then after that it can be anything. So we are representing the multiple strings by one specific expression, that is a regular expression. And how do we do it is by using the meta characters. There are a lot of concepts, it's a big topic altogether, but let's try to cover as much as things as possible. There are different meta characters, quantifiers, and a lot of things. So what is meta characters? First let's look at the meta characters. These are the normal characters, but if you tweak their meaning, if you change their meaning, they can be used as a specific special character which can be used for regular expressions. So if I say D, normally this D is just a D as a character, but if you say backslash D, that gets something different meaning. So if you say W, it's a normal character, but if you put a backslash behind that, that becomes a meta character, that it gets certain meaning, and we'll see what that meaning is. So normal characters, when used in a specific fashion, they get special meaning and special purpose to create your regular expression patterns, and those are the meta characters. Okay, so there's a huge list of meta characters, quantifiers, and whatnot. We'll try to see the most important of those, most widely used of those, to get ourselves comfortable with the concept of regular expression. If I want to represent any character, any character, like any character from like A to Z or capital A to Z, how do I represent any character? To do that, I have a meta character, we just saw it, it's backslash and W, that becomes a alphanumeric character. So what I mean by that is, say if you create something like, and in Java we have this pattern dot matches. There is a class in Java utils, java dot util dot regex dot pattern. We can use this for testing our patterns on any input string. So let's create two string variables over here. String input, say my input is y, for example, and my pattern is just W. Now in this case, whenever we use a backslash, as we are using it inside a string, we need to put double backslash, and it has certain meaning. We'll see it in some time. So what we are doing, we have a simple pattern that is backslash W, which says it can represent any character, any capital or small character, and we have input string as y. So what this pattern dot matches does is, if your regular expression matches the pattern, it will say true. If it does not, it will say false. So let us see if this pattern can match this specific input string. So this pattern matches this string. What if I increase another, say 2? It says false. So what do we understand from this? The understanding is when we say backslash w, that can satisfy or that can represent only one character, not more than one character. So what if I want to represent more than one characters? I need to put two w's. As simple as that. Now if I put two w's, it can represent two characters. Now it is saying true. What if I say another character? Similarly, I will have to put another w. So three w's to represent three characters. Fine. Will it represent a number? Let's try it out. So it's representing a number, alpha numeric. So W stands for alpha numeric. So it can be a character or it can be a number, but anything apart from special characters. Okay, there is another good thing over here. Say I want to represent a string, like anything apart from special characters, it's fine. I don't know how many number of characters and digits are over here, but I want to create a regular expression to match that. Now, when we do not know how many number of characters it might be in the input string, but we just want to regularize that, and the condition is it should have only characters and digits, no special characters. That's the only condition. So for that, this regular expression is sufficient. Like this uh, particular meta character is sufficient. But the issue is with the number, isn't it? Issue is with the number of characters. How do we put those many number of backslash w's as we are going to see in the input, and we don't know that number changes? So in that case, there is another thing in regular expression. It's the usage of curly brackets. It's very important. It's the usage of these curly brackets, and in those curly brackets you can specify the number of times the input is going to repeat it. So if I simply do something like this over here, say 1 comma, and there are different meanings, we'll see. Okay, there are three things: n comma, and there is called as just n, and that is called as n comma m. Okay, they are actually saying something same. When I say 1 comma, it says at least one times. So all it is saying is I need a w, I need a word character at least once, or any number of time is fine. One or any number of time it can repeat. If I say just one, it means I need just one word. If I say 10, I need just 10 characters, I mean to say. If you want to limit it from 1 to like 5 or 6, it says at least one character, at the max 6 characters. So there can be an input string which can have at least one character, or it can have at the max of 6 characters. That's what this n and m. When you say just one integer and it is a non-negative integer, when you say 6, it means it can regularize a string exactly of 6 characters. When you say 6 comma and just leave it as is, 6 comma, leave it as is, it means the string should have at least 6 characters and at the max of any. So in this case, what is my condition? It can have any number of characters, at least one to any, and it should get regularized if there is no special character in that. So in that case, my regular expression should be just 1 comma this, and if you run it now, it's saying true. You make any changes to the string, it's all right. As long as you don't put a special character, it's not going to fail. Let me put a special character and let's run it. It's false. I want to create a string which have just 2 characters. So all I'm going to do is put 2 over here. So this will limit the number of characters to 2. If I add one more character, it's going to fail. Also, if I remove one character, it's going to fail, because that is the exact number of characters it is expecting, and the input string should have that exact number of characters. That's what this second is. N comma says it's the minimum of those characters, and it can be maximum number is can be anything, but this minimum number is provided, and this is the lower limit and upper limit, that is n and m. Okay, like we have this w which represents any alphanumeric character. What if we want to represent only digits, only digits, no characters, no special characters, only digits? What do we do for that? So for that we have a regular expression. that is D. This represent any single digit. Any single digit. What is meant by that? If I say 9, will it represent that? True. It's saying yes, it representing that. When you say 90, will it represent that? False. It's not representing that, because D is going to represent only single digit character. So what if we want to represent a 2-digit character? What we'll need to do? Same thing, we need to put this curly bracket and the number. That's 2. So in this case, it will start representing that. What if I want to create a regular expression that represents at least 4 digits and at the max 10 digits? So all I need to do is at least 4 digits, at the max 10 digits. So it should have at least 4 digits, and that string will get represented. That's as true. As simple as that. So represent any digit, we have small d for W and for D. There is another way also we can represent. We can use the brackets also. We can say from 0 to 9. This also will act as the digits, like brackets 0 to 9 will be very similar to what you do with this D. Also for the word, we know we were doing like small w. Instead of that, we can use the bracket, like those square brackets, and say a to z. And when you want to include the small also, so we need to do small a to z. So that is very much similar to what we do as backslash w. Okay, so when we use the brackets, we can put the range in that. If I say in the square bracket from 2 to 6, it means any digit in the range of 2 to 6 is fine, including 2 and including 6. And you can use range for anything. Say if you say from A to Q, so it will be any capital letter from A to Q. When you want to include small letters also, you can just do that, like A to Z. If you want to add uh, number range to this, you can add number range to this, like just 3 to 6. So what this regular expression will represent, this will represent any of the capital letters from A to Q, any of the small letters from A to Z, and the numbers from 3 to 6, all inclusive. So that's a regular expression. This is small w. If we change it to capital, this will start representing as the symbols. Anything apart from capital letters, small letters, or numbers, that will be presented by this w. It means any special character that we want to represent, it's fine. So in this case, we are putting this range as 4 to 10. So as long as we have the number of characters in the range of 4 to 10, it's going to satisfy that. So it's true. So if I want to represent a special character, all I'm going to do is use this capital W. Simple. There's a symbol called as caret. This symbol has a couple of meanings in regular expressions. One of the meaning is it can be used as a not, not symbol, invert. What I mean by that is if I put that not symbol over here, it will invert the meaning of the regular expression. Like in this case, if I write this one as anything in between capital A to Z, small a to Z, and 0 to 9, like in this case, what it will represent? It will represent every capital letter, every small letter, every digit. That's what it's going to represent. But if I put not in front of it here, the specific regular expression will represent anything apart from capital A to Z, small a to Z, and 0 to 9. So what remains if we ignore all the capital letters, all the small letters, and all the numbers on the keyboard? What remains? Only the special characters that remain. So this or this, they are both and the same. You take backslash capital W for special characters, or you take this for special characters, is one and the same. One more thing, if I want to represent the group of characters, say write some word, like for example, when I put the small brackets, they have certain meaning. In the small brackets, whatever characters will put, those group of characters will be taken over there. So it matches exact characters in the exact order. In this case, if I put my input string as Pandora, is going to match it as is. If I am going to remove any of the characters in between, it's not going to match. So what's the fun part? Like if we take the pattern in this fashion also, that is how it's going to work out. But this group of characters, when we put it inside the small brackets, They get special meaning when we use the bars, the or sign. We can say Pandora, or we can say Panda, or we can say. So now this particular pattern is giving us the ability to regularize three strings. Now this is very important. First string, it can be Pandora, or it can be Panda, or it can be DB, whatever this last one is. So anything apart from these three is fine as far as the last section of the string is concerned. This is required, and after that it can be either ORA or DA or ABD. Anything of this is fine. So this is very interesting when we go for regularizing the URLs. Like say I have a URL like designia.com, but I want to create a regular expression that regularize.com also, .in also, .us also, .uk also. How do you do that? That is very easily done by using the same fashion: com or in or UK or US or net. Anything is fine. So as long as my domain is Designia, it can be anything else at the end. It can be anything else in the sense it can be com or in or UK or US. It's going to represent all these. So if I say dot in, fine, it's going to represent it well. It's going to say true. If I say dot US, it's going to say fine, true. If I say dot .au, for example, it should not say true, it says false. Yes, because this specific domain is not part of the list. So when we say, or whenever we want to use this or operation, then we go with this bars, and make sure there shouldn't be any space. Okay, there shouldn't be any space in between. So the next part is, let's start by characters like say ABC and this dot. Let's start with dot. So what this dot means is, dot represents any character, any single character in the world, any character or special character or digit or anything. So this ABD can represent ABD2, that's fine. It'll say yes, no issues. It can represent ABDT, it's fine. It can represent ABD hash, true. So it can represent any of the characters, small characters, capital characters, letters, and any digit or any special characters, but just one. If you say two, you say, if you add one more character over there, no, any single character over there. So dot represents any single character. I mean any character, any digit or any special character. That's the importance of dot. Now let's first understand the meaning of all these meta characters, and when we combine more than one meta characters together, they get special meaning. Okay, so first we understand the meaning of this dot. Now there is another character which has the special meaning, and that is star. The meaning of this asterisk or star is, it repeats the preceding character. Whatever is the character before this, in this case this D, it repeats the preceding character zero or any number of time. Zero or any number of time it can repeat. It means if I take an input string as AB, just AB. Now in this AB there is no D, but it's fine. It will represent that also. It will regularize that also. So it's saying true. If I say ABD, it's going to say true. Okay, fine. This is just one number of time. If I say DDDDD multiple times, it's going to represent that as well. So it's still true. So what star says is, wherever we put the star, it can repeat the preceding character zero or any number of times. It just repeats the preceding character zero or any number of times. And when we say zero, the input string cannot have AB, I mean D as well. We can remove the preceding character from input string, it will represent that. So that's the significance of the star. Now there is another thing called as plus sign. The plus sign is very much similar to star, but, and let's try to put it over here so we can comparatively understand this one. So star repeats zero or any number of time. Then comes the plus sign. Plus sign says I repeat the preceding character one, at least one time, or then any number of time. input string must have at least one instance of D, at least one, it's fine. So in this case, if we put D over here and run, so it has one instance of D, it's fine. It can have multiple instances of D. That's very much similar to how the asterisk would have done. Asterisk says 0 or any, so there cannot be any instance, or then there can be multiple instance of preceding character. Plus sign says there has to be at least one instance to regularize that. So that is the only small difference in between star and plus sign. There is one more thing. It says question mark. Question mark has again couple of meanings in regular expression. In this sense, in the repeating kind of things, it says I can repeat the preceding character 0 or 1 number of time. Just 0 or 1. That's it. It can repeat D 0 number of time. So D can be there or cannot be there. It's fine. True. The D is not there. It's fine. There can be D as well. So if you put D, also is fine, but we cannot have like multiple D's over there. Then we'll say false. So question mark says just 0 or 1 number of time. Question mark is very important in the cases when we want to put some characters which are optional characters. It can be there, it cannot be there. So in this case, D could be there, D could not be there. So that's what it is very important. Now, what if I combine the two characters, I mean two meta characters, dot and star? What will be the meaning of this one? What we're doing is we have a dot and then we have a star. What star says? Star says that I will repeat the preceding character 0 or any number of time. 0 or any number of times. So after ABD, dot can be there, cannot be there. It can be there multiple number of times, n number of times. So we can put an input string, something like this. And then what dot represents? Dot represents any any character. So that's how when we put dot, it can take anything. It can take numbers, special characters, capital, or whatever, anything. So that's how dot star takes everything. So now this particular string can represent anything after ABD. ABD should be there, and then after that dot star. So anything it can accept. So this is also an interview question, like how does dot star accepts anything, any input? That is because star repeats the preceding character 0 or any number of time, and the preceding character is dot. So dot, when repeated 0 or any number of times, it can accept any input. Okay, let's take some examples. Okay, say I want to create a regular expression to say regularize a date. Okay, that's a very famous interview question. What I want to do is I have some dates in the form of MMDDYYYY. So it's like 12 and 21 and 2015, for example. So any date like in the form of like MM/DD/YYYY should get regularized. Any date in this specific kind of fashion should get regularized. So in this case, we have certain limits. The first is month. Month can be only in between 1 to 12. So the first section over here, we need to be just in, like, it cannot be any date. So we cannot go with D, isn't it? We cannot go with something like this, right? Because this will say any two digit. It can represent even 99, but there is no 99 month in a year. So we cannot go with this one. So we'll have to use the range, bracket range, the brackets where we need to put the range. So we need to regularize this number range now. What is this range? The range is 1 to 12. Now let us understand how we can regularize the range. So when we regularize the range, first take out the numbers with the same digits like 1 to 9, put them in a range. So it can be 1 to 9, or put or symbol. It can be 1 to 9, or it can be 10 to 12. So to regularize 10 to 12, you can put 1 and 0 to 2. So it can be either 1 to 9, first month to 9th month, or it can be 10th or 11th or 12th. So when we put or, it will satisfy either first part or second part. Second part is representing the month or the digits, that is from 10. This is one is the first digit, that is fixed. Second digit can be in between 0 to 2, so it can regularize 10 or 11 or 12. So this is the part we are going to put over here as the regularizing for month, and then the forward slash is fine. Then comes the regularizing the dates for like days. What are the dates? 1 to 31 is the limit, isn't it? 1 to 31. Now how do we regularize this? Let's again put it out in the parts. First part is 1 to 9, so that can be simply represented by 1 to 9, one digit, that's fine. Or second part is 10 to 31, so we can put like in and to understand that it's very interesting. Say when you say 10 to 31, in this way we can say 1 to 3 as the first digit is going in between 1 to 3, second digit is going from what, from 0 to 9 if you say, so it's going to regularize till 39. But are there 39 days? No. So again we need to deduct it in two more ranges. What we're going to do is we're going to put it from 10 to 29, and then the next part will regularize at 30 to 31. So if you say I want to regularize 10 to 29, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take out 1 to 2, that's the first digit, and second digit can be 0 to 9. So that's how we're going to regularize 10 to 29. And then for 30, easily we can take 3 as common, and then we'll say 0 to 1. So that's how we got the days. First day to, at the max, 31 days. And we can put it over here. For year though, it's very easy. I just need to create a 4-digit number. But only thing I need to make sure is the first digit cannot be 0, because I don't want to make a year as a 3-digit year. I want it 4-digit year. So I want to start from 1000. So 1000, 1001 till 2017, or after 2017, whatever it can be, till 9999. So for that, all I will do is put the first digit as 1 to 9. So the first digit can be anything from 1 to 9, and the letter digits can be anything. It can be 0 also, and it has to be exactly 3 digits after that. Only condition is the first letter, first number should be non-zero. That's how it will make it a 4-digit. That's it. This is how we'll regularize a date. It should be in these small brackets. Whenever, sorry, I forgot that. So whenever we use the OR operation, the things should be in these small brackets. Then only we can use that specific one. Here it's not required. So when we save it and when we run it, it's going to say true. So it can be any year, any date, but if we go beyond the range, if I try to take 15th month and say date is same, but it's going to say false because 15th month does not exist, so it's false. It should be in the range from 1 to 12. It can be 1. Also it cannot be 32 or 33, that is going beyond the range, so we're going to say false. So month also should be in the range of 1 to 31. So that's how we can regularize a date. I think a lot of things. Say we want to regularize a phone number. Say uh, we have a phone number, something like always starts with 91, and then there is a space, for example, and then we have a 10-digit number. Fine. So first is plus 91, so plus 91, and the default value of plus in regular expression is something different. It is like repeating the preceding character one or many times. So to escape that meaning, we need to put escape character over here. This backslash is the escape character. What does it do is it escapes the default meaning. Every character has a default meaning. D has the default meaning as D character, like D, A, B, C, D, but it has other meaning also. In regular expression, if you want to take the other meaning, that is a digit, but to escape the default meaning, we use this backslash as escape character. So in this case, the plus sign has some other meaning. Plus sign has the default meaning as that repeats the preceding character one or any number of times. We need to escape that meaning. and use the plus means just plus the character plus. That's why we need to put this backslash over here, and then 91 and space, so it should be there. Then after that, and for space we have small s is the meta character that we can use for space. It's fine. Then there is one space, so exact one space we can make it fixed to one. So if there are like multiple spaces, it will fail that. So just one space after that. And then digits, how many digits do we want? But again, I want to do like, I want to fix the first digit in between 1 to 9, because number should not start with 0, right? Otherwise it will not be a 10 digit number. So again, I want to fix the first number to 1 to 9, and then later on we can say the 9 numbers, exactly 9 numbers. Those can be anything. Now the number can be 1 0 0 0 0 0 0, it's fine, but first digit should be in between 1 to 9. And of course, if the phone number is 9 digit, it should be false only. If I start a number with 0, something like this, it's again going to be false, because we are fixing the first number from 1 to 9 only. So rightfully it will say false, something like this. It might seem little difficult in the beginning, but I'm sure if you try for a couple of times, understand the meaning of the meta characters, and there is no need to understand the meaning of whole list of meta characters. Just understand those we discussed today, and that will be enough. Let us say another example. What we want to do is we want to regularize the date, but the date is in the form of MMMDDYY, Jan, and then there is this dash, and then the date like Jan 21 2018, something. So in this case, there are two ways we can regularize this one. We can just, for Jan, we can take any 3-digit number, like the first part can be anything from 3 digits, it can be any 3-digit number, and then we have a dash, and then same story for the numbers, and for year we can use this one, the way we regularize in the previous example. But if you want to use exact same names of the months, then what you can do is you can put, like, take this one, the small brackets, and whatever months you want to put over there, you can just put those as Jan or Feb or uh, March or April, and so on till December. So if the month is taken from this list, then only it will regularize. It will not regularize any other string other than that. In the previous case, when we were doing like backslash w and 3 characters, so even if you say ABC, it would regularize that as a month, any 3-digit string. But if you want to be more specific, then you can go something like, okay. Another beautiful thing, quite difficult, but let's do that. How to regularize price? That is price, like dollar 24. I want to regularize the price, and the price can be anything in the form of, like, it can be just dollar 24, or it can be dollar 50.00, or it can be dollar, say, 100.098, or it can be something like dollar 0.90. And the invalid prices which should not get regularized are something like dollar 0.0, it should not get regularized, no, something like this should not get accepted. And like double dollar shouldn't be there, double dollar something like this is also not accepted, just $1 sign, and then anything apart from these kind of prices. So let's start with dollar. So dollar has again certain meaning, we need to escape that specific meaning, so we'll use double backslash and then dollar sign, and we need dollar just one number of times, so we'll fix it to 1. Then we have, let's take a combination, say, if I want to put it into parts, if in my price the digits before the decimal point are non-zero, see what I'm saying, in my price if the digits before the decimal point are non-zero, then it's fine if dot comes, and whatever after dot comes, I'm good with that. So it can be anything after, as long as I have some digits which are non-zero. So let's first regularize that one. So how do you get any non-zero digits? like from 1 to 9. How many number of times it can be? It can be any number. It can be at least one or any. So just like that, n comma, and just leave it as is. So the digits from 1 to 9 can be repeated any number of times. Then as long as I have a non-zero number before decimal point, I does not mind. There can be a dot, there cannot be a dot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a plus sign. Sorry, this question mark. What question mark says? The preceding character can appear, cannot appear. It's fine. And then we can have any digits. We can have just the zeros also. It's fine. Like 24.00, like 50.00 is also fine. So in this case, I no need to worry about putting 1 to 9, right? Like before the decimal point. What if I want to put a price like 50, because I'm not getting this 0 in 1 to 9, right? So what I'm going to do is over here, as long as we have this number, and we can have any digits and any digit, something like this. So we can have any digits from 0 to 9. We can have any digits from 0 to 9, but somehow we should need at least one digit which is non-zero. So if you go in this way, let us say how many prices we can regularize with this regular expression. So this 24 will get regularized. That's fine. It's false. Backslash, backslash. What's going wrong here? It's D and okay. So D can be anything from 1 2, and this D also can be anything from, or better way, let me put from 0 to, so it can come or it cannot come also is fine. True. So any number from 0 to 9 can come or not come, it's fine. After that also any number of 0 to 9 can come or not come, it's fine. But in between we need one digit that is non-zero. That's what it is saying. So 24 got regularized. Say 24.00 can get regularized. Yep, it's getting 24 point, say 240. Let's try out this one. 240 can get regularized. Obviously it's getting 2040 gets regularized. Yep, it's getting regularized. 2040.001 getting regularized. Yep, it's getting regularized. So this is done, this is done, this is done. What about 0.90? Will it get regularized? No, it will not get. The reason is, say 0.90 is not getting regularized because we haven't added that yet. So far it's false, yes, because so far what we are making it compulsory is the number before decimal point has to be a non-zero number. It has to be something. Then how we can do it is we can put an or symbol. So all we need to do is just take it inside a bracket till this part and just use or and create another regular expression that can represent a zero over there. So before this we have a dollar and just one number of time, and then it can be a zero. So you can simply put a zero, or you can say simply D, any number is fine. And or what we can do is, if it is a zero coming from one or any number of times, then there has to be a dot. So we can fix a dot. Now I'm not going to put a question mark because now this dot is not an optional. When the number before decimal point is not, it's a zero, then we have to have some numbers, right? And after decimal point we should have some number other than 0, otherwise the price will be 0.0. That we do not want to do. So we need some number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say after dot we need any digit, it's fine. It should appear 0 or any number of times. Then we should have one number which is not like 0. It can be anything in between 1 to 9, and that can appear one at least once or any number of times. And then we can have a 0 also later on. So I'm just putting D and anything, it can appear or it cannot appear. That's fine, any number of times. So now this, just look at this part, what it is doing. It is saying that I'm starting with $1, fine. Then it is saying that I'm starting with 0. There can be 1 0 or multiple zeros, and then there is a dot sign, fixed dot sign, there has to be. And then there can be a 0, but there should be at least one number, and then there can be again 0. So that's how it can regularize something like this, 0.00090. Fine. In the pattern, what did we wrong? 0 is coming one or many times, then dot, 0 part. Okay. Okay, why do we need the backslash for 0? That's what it is. Yeah. So when we run it, saying it's true, yeah, it can regularize something like 000. Can it regularize something like 0.0? No, because that's what we are making it compulsory by putting 1 to 9, that there has to be one digit up apart from 0. So that's how. Can we have $2? That's not a valid case, and it should not regularize that. Yes, it's saying false, so we cannot have double dollars. So that's how we make it compulsory, by putting this 1 over here, just $1. Getting it might seem difficult at this moment, I understand, but if you practice for a few days, it will be very easy. This kind of questions are asked in the interviews. So thank you for joining this, and I'll come up with some good topics and we'll do these bonus sessions.